What's up guys, this is Jake with Casual Ecommerce, and in this video we're going to be covering 5 dropshipping strategies that used to work but aren't exactly working very well anymore, so you should probably stop doing them moving into 2019. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the computer and get started. Okay guys, so before we go ahead and get started with the video, I wanted to go ahead and let you know that if you haven't already enrolled in my free 2019 dropshipping mini course, go ahead and do that. It'll be the first link in the description below. What it is, it's a completely free 4-video mini course that's going to kind of outline dropshipping in 2019 and the direction that I feel like it's going to take. So if you haven't already went through that mini course, go ahead and sign up for free. First link in the description down below. And with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So we're going to go ahead and cover 5 strategies that you've probably heard of, maybe even tried yourself, that have worked in dropshipping in the past. However, they're not really very effective now, and you probably should ditch them moving into 2019. So number 1 on the list is actually going to be free plus shipping. So if you've been around ecom for a while, and especially if you got started back in maybe 2016, you were probably extremely familiar with free plus shipping. Free plus shipping was a huge strategy back in 2016, and the majority of dropshipping stores out there were actually doing it. However, if you've noticed, a lot of new dropshippers might not even have heard of free plus shipping at this point, because it's kind of a dying business model, at least in the e-commerce space. Now there's other sectors of internet marketing where it's doing very well. Like there's people like Russell Brunson and stuff giving away their free book funnels, and that's doing really well. But as far as dropshipping AliExpress products, free plus shipping just isn't really the way to go anymore. And there's a couple reasons for that. So the first thing is that this method's kind of developed a negative aura around it on social media. So if you ever actually see any free plus shipping ads now and you go ahead and look at the comments on them now, they're pretty much 100% negative at this point. It seems like a lot of the consumers have, I guess, caught on to the idea of the free plus shipping model, at least in the sense that they kind of know what's up. You know, they know the product's not free, they know the shipping's going to be the actual cost of the product itself, and it's just not working as well as it used to be. And sometimes if you have a bunch of free products in your store, this is definitely something that can go out there and hurt your brand credibility. And you know, one of the biggest problems with free plus shipping even back in 2016 was that people weren't doing it correctly. They just thought they could fill their entire store with free products, and that just looks completely stupid, and that's not how you would do it. You had to make it actually look like a legitimate giveaway, and the only real way that free plus shipping is really going to be effective in e-commerce now moving forward is if you frame it as a limited giveaway and maybe you only give out 100 of the free product. But I feel like if you're going out there and doing free plus shipping with AliExpress dropship products, it's pretty much not worth it at this point, because with the rise of CPAs, so I'll be mentioning CPAs throughout this video. So what I mean by that is cost per action, so cost per click, cost per video view, cost per purchase. That's all going to be a CPA. With all of the CPAs rising, be it on Facebook and Google, the margins get smaller and smaller, and the margins on free plus shipping products are already tiny as it is. So at this point, it's pretty much just an outdated business model when it comes to drop shipping, and you should probably go ahead and forget about it. So moving into the next thing, you probably already guessed this if you follow me at all, because I absolutely rag on this strategy. It seems like once every video at this point, and that's $5 per day Facebook ads. Now, this is another one of those strategies that back in 2016 it was really effective, and this was when, you know, Facebook marketing was rather new, and you know, there wasn't nearly as many dropshippers out there, so you could just go out there, find a hot product, test it at $5 per day for 7 days, so spend like 35 bucks, and you could tell whether or not it was going to do well or not, because the market was so unsaturated at that point. But now, with all of the competition and everything, $5 per day just isn't enough to get sufficient data. In today's day and age, it's just not an efficient strategy, given that products have variable profit margins. So, like I said, it's not that the profit margins or anything like this have changed over the past 2 years, it's just that the level of competition has drastically changed, meaning that you actually need to advertise and test things a lot more efficiently, and before you didn't have to be as efficient as you do now. So with variable profit margins, that means you're going to have variable cost per purchases, your target cost per purchase. So if a product rather has a profit margin of $50 and another one has a profit margin of $20, you can obviously spend more to acquire a customer for the product that has a profit margin of $50. So therefore, that product's budget for testing should probably be a little bit higher as well because your target CPA is higher. So this is the type of pinpoint testing you need to be doing, this variable type testing, and $5 per day just isn't really enough to cover that. So there's one caveat with this. The only way that $5 per day really works is if you utilize it inside of a massive blitz method, which normally involves anywhere from 10 to 30 plus ad sets. So you go ahead and you find the product, you say you have a video ad for it, and you just create like 25 different ad sets with it, targeting like 25 different audiences, and then all of the individual ad sets are at $5 per day, and then you wait like 2 or 3 days and see which ones take off. Now that's a method that can actually work right now, but while it may seem like, oh, it's $5 per day, that's not really $5 per day. That's 5 times 20. That's $100 per day. So when we're talking about testing here and we're talking about $5 per day, the $5 per day where you're literally only spending $5 per day on one single ad set, that shit just doesn't work anymore. It's done. You can't just go out there and spend $5, literally only $5 on a single ad set and go out there and expect to be able to outmarket all of the competition that's now inside of the dropshipping space. So there's a lot of confusion around $5 per day. I know some people do it and it still works, but they're not actually doing $5 per day. They're doing $5 inside of 15 ad sets per day. So that's not $5 per day. The actual $5 in one ad set to test a product, that's so outdated, and you're never going to find any type of success with that unless you're extremely lucky. So getting into number 3, it's going to be image ads on Facebook. So when it comes to image ads, I'm more specifically talking about images for your lead ad, meaning the first ad that your product's going to see, so your test ads and stuff like that. So images for your lead ad at this point are pretty much dead when it comes to e-commerce products. And it's not that they can't work, it's just that they're so vastly inferior to video ads, there's really no need to even use them anymore. Why would you willingly pay more to acquire a customer when you can pay less by just using a video ad instead of the same product? So at this point, using image ads to promote products is pretty much dead, and you shouldn't really do it anymore. But like I said, there's a caveat with it. I'm only talking about lead ads, so the first ad, your test ads. But images are still good for retargeting because you don't really need a separate video for retargeting because these people have already seen the video and they've already clicked your site, they've already seen the product, so you can just retarget them with a simple picture of the product, and that's usually enough to bring them back. So image ads on your lead ad, on your initial ad sets, definitely something you don't want to do. If you're still doing it, it's time to get with the times and start doing video ads. All right, so number 4 I know is going to be kind of controversial, and it's going to be Instagram influencers. Now, I want to say quickly, I don't mean Instagram influencers as a whole are dead, but in the sense that the way they're most commonly used within dropshipping is just not very effective anymore. So when you think about influencers, as a whole, they're definitely not dead. But promoting low-quality dropship products just isn't really worth it anymore, especially with influencers charging more and more, and the Instagram feed being more and more saturated with nonsense. So influencers are also a lot more random and less controlled than Facebook and Google ads. When you think about these ad platforms like Facebook and Google, it's more like a scientific process, and Instagram's more kind of just like throwing money into a slot machine and hoping that it comes out. There's just not too much control. There's a little bit, but there's not nearly as much control and scalability as there is with Facebook and Google ads, so it's not really something you can go out there and start a business with and actually have it sustain itself over time. The biggest thing with influencers is that it's not really a skill and it doesn't really help you long term. So like something like Facebook advertising is a skill, knowing how to advertise on Facebook. Google advertising is a skill. Instagram influencer marketing isn't really a skill. You're just going on Instagram and giving someone a picture or video of your product and they promote it. That's not really a skill. Someone's not going to pay you to do that. You know, you're not going to like go out there and, you know, start a marketing agency based around, oh, I'll put your product on people's Instagram pages. It's not really a skill versus like, if you know Facebook ads or you know Google ads, you have a skill that can essentially just continuously pay you for years to come because you have an actual marketing skill. So it's a little bit more of a long-term investment. Now, like I said, I don't think that Instagram influencers as a whole are dead. I just don't think that they're worth doing it if you are drop shipping with low ticket, cheap, low quality AliExpress products. Now, influencers are really, really, really good to build a brand image and brand credibility. However, you're not really going to be doing all of that super high level branding stuff with random dropship products. You're going to be doing that with private label products, which is why the best way to use influencers is with a private label product where you actually build brand authority by getting your products in the hands of these people with an audience. And then you can go ahead and you're not even doing that to generate sales. You're just doing it for brand authority, and you can use all these pictures and, you know, put this stuff on your site and show people like, oh, well, this person with so-and-so followers is using my product. And that's how you actually start building a brand image. So that's what influencers are really useful for, is building brand authority and a brand image, which you don't really do when you're just drop shipping random low ticket products from AliExpress, which is why I don't feel like they're a really good investment of your time moving into 2019. So now the last one on this list is going to be unbranded stores. Now, I want to quickly say that unbranded does not mean a general store, because I know as soon as I say unbranded stores, a lot of people are going to say that I'm saying general stores are dead. Now, I think they're a lot harder than before, but I don't think general stores are completely dead. But the thing is, buying online is becoming more and more mainstream, and people have more options than ever, meaning they want to get their products from sites that they trust, making it harder and harder to sell from an unbranded store. So the thing is, you can use a general store, but branding a general store is just a bit harder and it has its limits. So let's say you're selling a fishing lure and you're selling that same fishing lure inside of a branded general store. So your general store looks really nice, it has a little brand established around it, it has some social proof, but then you put that same fishing lure inside of a niche store that's based around fishing, and it's got the same level of branding, the same amount of social proof. That niche store is going to win out every single time. So like I said, I'm not saying that general stores don't work. I still have a general store. It's nice to have a general store to kind of, you know, catch trendy products and kind of put viral products on there. However, it's the unbranded stores that aren't going to do well. So essentially stores that look like complete garbage. So if you want to use a general store, you're just going to have to put a little bit more effort in the branding than you would with a niche store. You know, things like actually having a physical address, having a 1-800 number, doing a lot of things like that, getting more social proof to ensure that your general store looks like an actual company. So with that said, that's going to be it for this video. If you like these tips, go ahead, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more content, and if you haven't already enrolled in the free Dropshipping in 2019 bootcamp, go ahead and click the first link in the description below to sign up for that. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video.